Hello there. So today's video is going to be about the Gaggia Velasca coffee machine. And I don't know if you know Saeco or Philips Saeco coffee machines, but this is essentially the Saeco Intellia Focus that's been out for a long time. And this particular one is branded for Gaggia brand. So this is the Gaggia Velasca, the exact same machine that Saeco sells under the Intellia Focus brand. And what's wrong with this is I had a used Saeco Intellia Focus, and the exact same thing happened to it after I had it for a while. So I think I know what's wrong with this. So what is happening is I bought this brand new in 2019, and it's worked flawlessly all this time. And I'm going to try lighting today with a headlight. That's why you see the lighting and the shadows today. So I just started up the machine, and so it should be warm. It may not even have a warm-up phase. So I'll turn the headlight off, and you can see that this is the only thing that that's all that the display will show us. Because normally you get logos and icons and stuff on here. But as you can see, the display is junk. So I have a new display, and we're going to go ahead and open up the machine. Oh, there she is. She was warming up. She was warming up. There she's doing her normal warm-up cycle where she spits about a spoon, maybe a teaspoon or tablespoon of water into the tray during the warm-up cycle. So normally we put a cup under it so that it doesn't spit it in that tray and the tray doesn't fill up so quick. But that was a normal startup cycle. As you can see, we got no logos and no status, no nothing on the display. So I just wanted to show you what's wrong with it. So this machine is a 2019. It was bought new or certified refurbished from a manufacturer from a major distributor online. And so now we're going to go ahead and turn it off again. And we'll go ahead and take it apart, and we'll change out this display. This display has like, it's just a circuit board with a harness, flat computer style harness. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and she didn't even spit out any water. Usually after you've made coffee, it will spit out the same thing as it does on the startup. So we're going to go ahead and I already emptied out the water is only a third full, and the beans, I scooped these out because we have to take off the top part. And then I emptied the dredge bin in case we have to remove that to get to the screws in here. And if it ends up taking too long, I'm gonna speed it up or cut it out of the video. Sometimes this stuff takes way longer than you anticipate in doing for a video. So if it ends up being that, we'll cut out some parts, and I'll just show you the most important things. But stuff like this, yeah, it can take way more time than you think. So we'll see how she goes. I typically don't do stuff like this on video, but maybe it's something that will be helpful. Who knows? So we'll see. I'm going to put you up on a tripod here instead of holding the gimbal, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I got you set up here on a tripod, and we'll see if it's of any use to it like this. So what you need is there's Torx screws throughout, and I think it's a T9, and I'll just make sure. So all the screws so far that I've seen on it are a T9 Torx, and my set is the temper-proof one with a hole in the center. You don't have to have a temper-proof one, but if you happen to have that, I have it for a hefty, this very nice 3-inch set that is very much complete, and there is a lot of sizes in this tiny set. And if you have need for this, this is the 3-inch version. I can post a link in the description. But that's a very nice set. You can use these in a screwdriver or a electric or a cordless screwdriver like I'm using. So I can put a link in the description. That's a very nice set. It's very inexpensive. So we're going to go ahead and take off the top. I'm going to take off these screws up in here, and then lift the bean hopper off. And we can use this for taking apart, but I don't like using it for assembly because it's just into plastic, and that's how you can. A lot of times how stuff gets stripped is disassembling with a power tool. But this also has a clutch up top. You can actually turn it all the way down so it doesn't wreck anything. But I don't like assembling it with a power tool. I've seen way too many strip screws. So there's just 3 screws, and then the top, and then your hopper on top comes off. And I might, at some point here, I'll clean underneath where, see how the stuff gets under here? The coffee, the ground coffee gets underneath. So I might grab a brush. I might grab a tiny brush and brush it into the hopper so that we don't have such a mess. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this brushed off and then we'll continue. Okay, so we got the 3 screws out and I got this nice and clean. So we're gonna proceed. And I'm gonna put the stuff over on the table as I'm taking it off. I'm gonna put the stuff over on the table. I'm letting the cat out. The cat is coming in here and she's gonna want out anyway in a few minutes. Okay, so we got the top part off, the grind or the bean reservoir. And if you look, this doesn't want to come off. Like, it doesn't want to, I think it's snapped in. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so the top snapped off. And a lot of this stuff, as you take it apart, grab a rag, clean the surfaces so that the reassembly goes quicker. I hate cleaning after. I hate cleaning on reassembly. I usually do all my cleaning on during the disassembly. I don't know what this is for here. I don't know what this part is for here. What is it? I've never seen it. I don't know what it's for. Huh, interesting. Maybe it has a purpose, who knows. Anyway, I'm putting all the stuff over the other table as I'm taking apart here. See, it is already cleaned pretty well. So now when you get to this part, so we're going for this part here. We're trying to get behind here. Now, I'm looking to see if we have, on the first machine that I had like this, I had a Saeco, I think I told you I had a Saeco. I had the Saeco version of this same machine. And the very first thing that went kaput on it was the display, just like on this one. And so I kind of noticed this machine inside and out, because the very first such machine I had was the same machine, but it was used, and I had a lot of problems with it. I had a lot of, I guess it was already several years old, had done a lot of coffee, and then I had it for, I think, 2 years of intense use before I had problems with it. But when I started having problems, I had problems every few months. And yeah, I had problems every few months once the problem started. So now I'm looking at this machine, and this is the first problem I've had with it. And I bought this basically new in 2019. It was manufacturer refurbished. It was like a customer return. And so now I'm thinking, like, if this starts giving me this much trouble, like the other one did, it might be time to upgrade it. So, okay, so I'm going to try to recall where the screws are that you take out. I know they're around here. Let's make sure they have seen you guys. I might have to move you closer. Let's see if I can move you guys closer. See if you see more if I move you closer. There we go. Sorry for that. Okay. Let's see if you see more from there. So far, the only screws we've taken out were the 3 from the bean hopper. Then the bean hopper came off, and then the top has no screws. The top is just laying on there when you got them. And now we're going to proceed with these guys here. Take these all out, and we'll see what panels come off if I take out these 2. So there's 3 screws. These are for the bean hopper, and now these are for the cover. And then this cover, I think this cover should be free. I'm going to pull the water canister out, and there might be a screw. Hold on. if I remember correctly, there was a screw on the front corner here. Let's see. Yeah, there is a screw here on the front corner. You get a headlight. You get a really good headlight like this. You can see everything really nice. I might take the water canister out too. Just like that. So I took the water reservoir out and I took the tray out from underneath. So I'm going to take this screw off. But remember on the first machine I had, it was used. You could tell that somebody had already worked on it because some of the screws were stripped. Now, we'll take the Pernelli off too. So get some of this stuff out of the way. Now, this, I don't remember if there's a screw on the bottom or not for this cover. This cover, I don't know if it's I think it's a snap in here. It's snapping in here. Yeah, it is. Yeah. There you go. So the side cover is off. I'm going to see if there's water damage in here like on the other first one I had. The first one I had water leaks. But I see in here they use better piping. Yeah, it's using better. It's using better. And this I'm going to wipe off too. There's a water reservoir. There's like a watermark here from the water reservoir. I'm going to get that wiped off. Best to wipe as you're disassembling. That way when you get to the reassembly, you're just assembling. You don't have to stop and wipe, stop and wipe. So there's the side cover, the first one. That was the left side. Now, I believe this side here will flip open. So if you take the dredge bin out, this side will just flip open. And I think that's all we have to disassemble. I think we can just flip this cover open. Let me move this over here. Make sure that you're still in the frame. There we go. Now, we're going to take the dredge bin out. That's your normal dredge bin. And I think that these screws here on the side, each side, there's 2 screws. I think then this front fascia will come off with the display in it. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think we have to take off more covers than we have. Okay, so let me see. So remember, on that left side cover, we had 2 screws on top and then 1 down here on the corner. That was the left side. This side would just flip the lid open with no screws on this side. So now I'm going to go up here to the fascia front assembly and take out these 2 screws. Take out these 2, and then you kind of leave them in their own. I'm going to leave them in their own little pile so that you don't mix them up. I don't know why you're using silver and black. The one side they had them silver, one they had them black. But we don't care, whatever. And then these, the 3 were from the hop. The silver ones were from the hopper. And just so that I don't get them mixed up, I'm going to put them with the hopper so that I don't get it mixed up. I'm going to put the long silver ones in the hopper in your respective place so we don't mix them up. There. And now we know that these 3 were from that left side cover, and then these 4 are from the front fascia. Now we're going to see if the front fascia comes off. It should. It should. It should come off, unless there's something more that I'm not seeing. The screws are out. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Yeah, here we go. The first one is out. I guess they kind of like tabs. They act like tabs, and then they have screws. Let's see. Let's see if I can do the same over here. I remember something from here, but I don't see it here now. I remember something from here. Okay, so I got the one side off. You're gonna have to be assertive with it because it doesn't shoot. Man, oh man, you need to be so aggressive with it. Doggone. Next thing you know, it breaks. And what I didn't do is I forgot to unplug it. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug the cord. Now this guy, I remember this guy he was a Grinch to get off. I don't know why. I guess the tab on the corner catches. But then I flipped it some way. I flipped it and then it came off nice. So there we go. So that front fascia is off. And then here is our display assembly. But I think we have to take off 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 screws that we have to take off to get that whole front. I'm going to lower you guys here so that you get a better view. Hang on. I'm going to lower it and go like that. Maybe we put you over here for now. Let me see. Okay, and I'll show you. I'll make sure you're in the frame. There we go. So this front assembly, I can already see the display in here. So we have to take this screw out and then these 2, and then this whole front fascia should come off. So let's go like this. Let's go like this, and then that'll be clockwise, and then we'll do it in counterclockwise order. I'll take all these 3 out. I think that's the last screw. Oh, I said that before, didn't I? But I think this is the last screw. Maybe we'll unscrew the screen from the back of this assembly. But I'm thinking this should get us to where we need to go. Okay, so that is off. This part is off. Now, maybe we leave the buttons and then we just deal with this. Oh man, look at that. Okay, I don't like that. Maybe we'll clean these before we put them back. So this is like that, this is like that. And now here it is. See, this is bolted on with 3 more screws. I told you there were no more screws. I was wrong. So here's where the harness unfits. But let me get this out first. Oh man. I keep saying no more screws and then there's more screws. I keep saying no more screws. And then boom, there's more. Because I'm going to try to not take apart anything that is not necessary for the replacement of the screen. Okay, so the screen is out. The screen is out. And now, if you look, there's 1 ribbon to unplug. There's actually 2 ribbons to unplug. So I'm going to do the one up here first. So the green wire is on. Oops. I think that's a one-way. You can't do it wrong. I think it's. I think you can't do it. Okay, so there I unplugged it. I think. Isn't that one of these things that you flip forward or something? I unplugged it. There's the screen and the holder. Maybe you screw it into or slip it into this holder. We'll see. The screen is out. I just don't like that I just yanked that out. I don't know. Maybe I'll just slip it in here. Okay. Maybe I take that. Okay, so we got it out. Now I'm going to show you the new part. And we'll make sure that the new part is the same. So here's the part number. This is the part number that you need for this part. And I got this from Encompass. I got this from Encompass. I think it's called Encompass Parts. If I see their name anywhere in this paperwork, I'll tell you the number. But the company is called Encompass Parts. There you go. You can see the part number there. That's the display. That's simply the display module. You need to pause the video to write it down. Go ahead. But this is the display for the Saeco Intellia Focus and for the Gaggia Velasca. So here is the new display. Here's the new display. You can see we have the wire and the ribbon and then this ribbon. Now there's something to peel off here. I guess there's something on the screen itself. But I think you have to put it into this new holder. You have to put it into this holder. See, this has an existing holder around it. So we'll take out the old one and slip this guy into the new holder. But everything looks the same. So there's like this. Like, I don't remember this part from when I did it previously. There are tabs up top here. There are tabs. So there's tabs. Yeah, there's tabs on the bottom and on the top. There's tabs to press to release it from the holder. But you shouldn't already have problems like this. So I want to show you. So the screen is kept into the holder by these clear tabs. See these tiny tabs on top? There's tiny tabs on the bottom as well. So I'm going to snap it out of this and put in a new one. Okay, so I got the new display snapped into the holder. So now we're going to go ahead and get the wires connected and get it screwed in place. Now on the center wire, I'm not sure if it's not supposed to be pulled up. It's almost like the way I remember connectors like that is you don't just, usually there's a part of them that you snap up and then you flip it out. We'll see. I might have it right now. We'll see. If it takes too long, I'll look up how you do it. So you don't want to rack it. It should go in fairly easy. I think it's got to be snapped out. I think it has to be snapped out. The way I remember these connectors is you snap them all the way. They either come up or you snap them away. They either come up or you snap them away. They flip away. They flip away or you pull them up. There, it might be the brown part. There you go. There you go. I think that released it. Okay. There you go. See, it looks like that's how you release it. It's this bottom part. Okay, so I figured it out. So this brown part, there's a brown clip that you flip away. So the bottom flips away, and now the ribbon just slips in. So once it slips in, then you flip it down again. Once it slips in, you snap it down like that. There you go. There you go. And then this guy just plugs in. And I think the green wire is to the inside, if I remember correctly. The green wire, so it can only go in one way. It's like a computer motherboard connector. And the green wire is to the right. Just the way that I took it apart and the way that it fits. And then this guy, he is right too. And now, you snap that bad boy down. You snap that bad boy down. And there's that. Better check it one more time before I say I'm done in here. Looks like I'm going to put them on the pegs. So this display holder sits on these pegs. I want to make sure that the wires are down. It sits on these pegs, and then that makes it easy for you to get the screws aligned. And I don't know if I want to use this guy to put the screws in. I put them on like the lowest level. Nope, I do not trust the power tool for work like this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a screwdriver. I don't know how good it's going to work. I'm going to grab a screwdriver and we're going to put it in by hand. That way we don't strip anything. It's just plastic, you don't need a screwdriver. I'm going to use a power tool or something like that. I mean, you can if you want. I just don't. What in tarnation screwdriver? Okay, where's that? See, you can feel how tight they are with that. Whereas with the power tool, you really can't. So before we go further, I'm going to take this screen off. And before we put this thing on there, I'm going to take their screen protector off. And I'm going to put this guy back. So I laid the parts down like I took them off so that we don't get anything messed up. And then this. I'm going to look up at the line and see if it's clean. Otherwise we'll grab some rubbing alcohol and clean it. I have smudge marks on the inside of it, so let me clean that lens first. So we cleaned that lens with eyeglass cleaner and a wipe. So it should not have any smudge marks on the inside, and whatever smudges will have on the outside will wipe from the outside. So remember, we put these down in order that we took them off. So I'll just grab the next 3 screws, which are these. So we kind of going counterclockwise here as we took them apart clockwise, and we're taking them counterclockwise and putting them back. And just finger tight them with 2 fingers. Don't overdo it. It's just plastic. And if you're not comfortable doing work like this, get somebody that could do it for you. It's not hard. It's pretty easy. I know that if you take it to a repair center, they might charge a pretty penny. I guess I've never used a repair center for stuff like that. I kind of fix all my own stuff. Okay, so we got these 3 in. So far, so good. But I don't like all these coffee beans. There's coffee beans in the corners here. Did I just knock it out? Did you see what I knocked out? Is it a coffee bean or? Yeah, it was a coffee bean. I knocked down a coffee bean and put it back. And then this, I don't like this. This is from the water reservoir. Water residue. Just wipe her down. Wipe her down. Now is the time. It'll never be easier than right now. Just wipe it off. It's dust from between the body panels. Just wipe it off. And then go on to the next part. So we got our old display here. Put her to the side. We're done with that. And so in here, this part is all done. I don't like how this is not laying down. See, they used good hose. I like what kind of hose they use here for that hot stuff. So now the next part is the It's the what I call the bezel, the front bezel. And I don't know if I wiped it or not. We're gonna wipe some of the stuff off on the edges. Clean the edges nicely. Because once we put it together, it's hard to wipe these edges. And you get dust and water residue or steam. Now's the time, just wipe them. It's easy now when it's apart. Okay, so we're gonna slip that bad boy on again. And remember, we have to take it over this guy. And that's a weird way of going. You can somehow finagle it in place. Finagle it in place. Is that a word? Finagle? There we go. And remember, this snaps in place on these 4 tabs. And then that holds it literally like there's already screws in it. Once you get it in place. It goes on much easier than it did take it apart. It was pretty, what do you call that? It was pretty serious taking it apart. Okay, so now we'll grab the next pile of screws. There should be 4. Remember, there were black ones on one side and then these chrome, or these silver ones on this side here. I'm going to put in these silver ones first. Just 2 on each side. Get this front bezel. There. I shouldn't really be tightening them until they're all in there. It's kind of amateurish. But I figure because they're holding themselves in place that I won't have a problem. So yeah, we're running out of screws. There's not many screws left. So now there's 2 on this side. Remember the bezel had 4 screws, 2 on each side. But now we're going to put in these guys. And we haven't stripped anything yet. On my first machine, whoever had it, when I had it, I bought it used. Whoever had it, it had so many. You could see that somebody had worked on it before me. And then I worked on it a lot of times. Look at this junk in here, this water residue. I think we should clean that out. Maybe I get a brush or a rag, clean it out. This is from when the water reservoir is overfilled or something. Yeah. Some of it seeps out from back there. And maybe a brush would do even better, but 4 years and only this much. She's really not leaking. She has no leaks yet, if this is all the water that we're getting. Okay, so now, if you remember, it's that side cover. Technically, well, I shouldn't say it. I was going to say technically you could test it at this point, but nah. I don't like how these corners are really dusty. I'm going to grab a Q-tip and get those air vents full of dust. Get the old air vents cleaned out. See these air vents? See these the corners in these air vents? Just take a Q-tip and just jam it in there and just get the junk out. Get the junk out. I thought I got it out, but I don't know if I did. See, you kind of have to figure whatever I'm doing, is it worth, and only spend as much time on it as you think it's worth. And so if I can't do this in a minute, it's not worth doing. You just leave it. But you have it apart. It's never easier than when it's apart. You probably won't open it up for a couple of years. Hopefully. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm happy. I'm satisfied with how clean it is. Okay, so what we did, we set it in these notches. There's these pegs. And there's a couple things to watch as you're putting it back in place. Give me a second. There's a couple things to watch as you put this back in place. there's pegs on the bottom that the lid sits in. See these I'll show you. These pegs. Do you see these holes for pegs? So it sits in these pegs here. But before it sits in the pegs, you also have to navigate the whole lid in place. The whole lid has to be navigated in place. Like that. There's snaps and there's... So there's that, it's in place. And then what I'll probably do, snap all the snaps and then do the screw like on the bottom first. Remember that cover had 3 screws. There were 2 on top and then this front one. This front one on the bottom corner. There's one on the bottom corner for the left side panel, and then there's 2 on top. And I believe we are out of screws. No, we're not out of screws. We got some screws for the... We got some screws for the... We got some screws for the... Whoops. That's not cool. See, you're not supposed to really use this bit in this type of screwdriver. There's really better screwdrivers for holding this. Whatever, we're going to do it with this today. So these 2 on top, and then that side panel is mounted. There you go. Make sure we got the body lines all lined up. I'm going to loosen this when I push it in some. So, I'm saying down here, you can't really push it in, but I'm going to try. Okay, and then I see more water or steam residue here. I'm going to try to wipe that. You snap in place in the center. And then this milk wand, this frother is full of gunk, but you can clean that tomorrow. We're more focused on getting this reassembled here. So we got the left side panel on, and so now we come over here and look for the rest of the stuff. Like, I think now we do the top. So now we'll do the top part. We'll do the top lid. That thing just lays, I think it slides under the front with tabs. Does it not slide under the front with tabs? And then it just lays down in the back, like that. No, that's not right. I don't like that. This is not right. This is not right. There you go. Snap that bad boy in place. There's a center snap. I still don't know what this is here. I don't know what that is back here. I don't know. But whatever. It just lays on top and it's held down with the bean hopper. So the bean hopper holds that down. And so when you take this apart, you got to make sure that you got this grind level indicator in the proper place, and make sure that your lid sensor here is also in place. And then there was 3 screws in here. Those 3 silver screws, those long. I think these were the longest screws that we had. And remember, just finger tight it. Don't go ham on these. It's just plastic. I said next time I'm gonna get a better holder for my bit. I don't like this bit holder. No, don't strip these, because on my other machine somebody had stripped 1 or 2 of these. Just 2 finger tight, for goodness sakes. There, 2 finger tight is all it needs. Don't go crazy. Okay, so this is nice and clean compared to what it was. It was really nasty. And so the bean hopper thingy is on. And we're going to slide. Let me dump that. Let me dump. I'm going to dump the water tray. Let's slide in the water tray. Like that. Get that wand flipped out of the way. And then put the water reservoir back. It's only half full, but that's fine. We'll fill it tomorrow. We're just doing diagnostics after the work we just performed. Get the Prinelli on there. Get the dredge bin. This is our dredge bin. And we're going to close the side lid on the right side. I'm getting rid of all this junk here. You think I should be throwing stuff away already? I'm being optimistic here. I'm being super optimistic. I'm so optimistic that that is fixed, man. Super optimistic. Okay, so I'm gonna look over here. I got no more parts except for the bean lid, and I think we can put the lid on and fill the beans later. But for right now, we want to plug in the power cord in the back, or down here, I should say. We're going to plug in the power cord. And, so how you know it's got power is when this light is on, this light is blinking. See, the power light is doing the blinks, the faint blinks. It's doing the red blinks. So that's how you know it has power. So now we're going to power it up. And I might show a cup under it as it's warming up. And I'll throw a cup under it so it captures the water and warm up process. Wow, look at that. Now we're talking. We got our logo going. I'm going to bring you over here. Show you. You saw our blank screen. Look at that. We got our screen back. That is exactly what was wrong with this thing. The screen was blown. But that's the warm-up cycle and the startup. But that's what it was. The old screen was bad. It's going through all the warm-up cycle where it's pumping water through the boiler and making sure the boiler isn't heating up empty. So now it should come to where it's right. That's the ready screen. That's your coffee strength. That's what you want to do. So yeah, we were successful. That is exactly what it was. It was the display. So if your machine you got a blank display on it, this is a pretty reasonable part to replace. There's the part number if you need that again. And if you hit me up in the comments, I can tell you where you can buy it. It's a reasonable part. It was like 35 bucks. And if you do the work yourself, you're going to save a lot of work compared to just sending it to a service center. You have a great day.